Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm just going to break down the trade that we actually took inside of the live stream in the VIP signals room. And the reason I just want to break this trade down is because it's very textbook and it's very easy to understand. So I thought I'd come on the camera and show my face because it's been a little while, and we'd actually start breaking down a trade. And I'm back in the UK now as well, so I've got all the camera equipment and stuff like that. It's a big chunky camera, you know, we don't want to be carrying that around all the time. Just, you know, I like carrying a backpack, not like suitcases and that. Come on, I'm not a female, I don't need a big suitcase of shit, you know what I mean? So let's start replaying this trade that we actually took on the stream, as I said. So as we can see here, coming into the actual New York Open session at 9:30, we can see clearly that price was looking to manipulate higher to then send price lower, which is what we called out on the stream. And we had a completely neutral bias coming into this session, and the reason for that being is we had these Asian highs, buy-side liquidity, and London highs resting above, but they were relatively far away, so it wasn't really a key draw on liquidity. And we also had a 4-hour bearish fair value gap, which price has previously respected, and we also have some sell-side liquidity resting inside of that zone, where previously price has respected that 4-hour fair value gap. Therefore, completely neutral bias coming into the session. So I'm ready to just see what price gives us. So our trading range rests between 9:45 and 11:15. So therefore we can take a trade at any time within the next hour and a half. So we mark out the parameters of the time zone that we can trade. Won't take a minute. Won't take a trade a minute outside of it. Just one of the rules I got. Can't really tell you why. Just the way it is. And we can see there. This is a trade we were actually looking to take because we're taking out these minor buy-side liquidity. So what you want to be doing is just get your horizontal ray tool, and you can see there it's taking out that buy-side liquidity, and it's also taking out that buy-side liquidity. So where buy-side liquidity rests is at swing highs. So you can see here it's been manufacturing liquidity. So you draw like your little trend lines and stuff like that. They're all higher lows, lower highs, whatever the hell you want to call it. I can't really bother to think about it at the minute. But you understand the concept, right? So there's a high, there's a high, there's a high, there's a high. So people have their stops above this area. Therefore, market maker needs to come and attack those zones before selling price lower. But otherwise, everybody's getting paid. It's not the business model. Market maker needs to set traps so he can get paid, not you. Therefore, we were looking at actually taking the trade going short as soon as we got this red vector candle. And it's a valid trade. And I did say to the guys inside of the signals room, it's not a trade I particularly want to be taking. It's a trade that I would take because it is our edge. Our edge has showed itself, so we must take it, essentially. But I wasn't comfortable in taking this trade, but if I had tapped into this fair value gap 1 minute, then we would have took it for sure. And it would have paid nicely, as we can see. We were a few points off. I think it was 2.5 points of actually getting our entry. So, yeah, it would have paid because it come down to this 4-hour fair value gap, which is where our final TP would have rested. But this is the big trade that we really wanted, because instead of it being a 1 to 3, we got a much better opportunity targeting the highs. So you can see right here, what do we have? If you guys have watched all of my previous videos, you'd understand that we have the unicorn model set up resting right here. So inside of this zone, what do we have? The breaker block paired with, which is soon to be, the fair value gap. Okay, so you have attack of the lows. So you can see here, if we draw out lots of little boxes, okay? You wouldn't think that this makes thousands of pounds, but it does. So you've got loads of little boxes. You can see here, this low has taken out by this low, and then it started to trail higher. Therefore, it's a unicorn model setup and a high probability one, because we have swept this sell-side liquidity and we've tapped into a 4-hour fair value gap, okay? Mate, can you not do that, please? Every time you go on higher time frames, it does that for some reason. So there you go. You guys have seen what's happened with the trade, but you're only here to really learn. So let's continue. Let's proceed. So we can see right here. Let me get rid of that. It makes it a little bit clearer. We can see the price displaced higher. It's not a clean displacement. It's not a textbook displacement, but it is a displacement because the candle moved so high up. And it displaced for such a long time. It wasn't like a snap up, snap down, stop hunt type of wick. It was more of, it was trailing high the whole time, and then at the last minute it shot down. That's a displacement in my eyes. It's been it's high enough for too long. It's took out anybody that was inside of the short. It's displaced, okay? It's not a textbook displacement, but it's displaced. If it had just come up, wicked up, and then wicked straight back down, it's not a displacement. But it was hovering for so long, it's done the damage it needed to do. I have no problem in calling that a valid displacement. And then you could have had your stop at 20 points, or me, I always kind of have it at 25, and then have first TP at 25. So as soon as we got tapped into the trade right there, we was in with 4 contracts. And then our first TP rested at 25 points as usual. And by that time, we closed out 2. And our second TP was, I need to turn this back on now, was resting inside, or it was actually at the high of this Victor candle. We did adjust it midstream to the inside of this fair value gap right there. So I actually did sell 1 contract at that point. Only reason being is because both NQ and ES were actually respecting this bearish fair value gap, which gives me a little bit of concern in order which direction is it going to go. I'm not really too sure. I'll take a contract off, securing a little bit more gains. It turned out that it didn't really matter, and I probably cost myself a couple £100, but you know what I mean. Can't really complain. And then our final TP didn't rest at this high that most people probably did have it at. Mine is always ambitious. That's just how I roll at the London highs. And then we trail our stops aggressively the closer we get to it, and then we can lock in that profit later on. So once price had actually taken out this high right here, I did move my stop very aggressively. And I even think, I think we got stopped out around here, but I'll put it on screen, the price that we actually got stopped out at. But if you were brave and you decided not to put your stop loss there, and you just read it the whole way up, I'll show you the outcome of that trade. When we get there, eventually, one day. It's what I mean. I don't want to be in these trades for all this time. I don't like being in trades for too long. I just want to be in and out. So that's why I trail stop aggressively as soon as we get close to final TP. Because if it wants to take that liquidity, it will just snap up and take it. If it wants to do this chop fest, fuck around, it's going to do this chop fest, fuck around, and it's not going to go straight to it. And I'd rather just be out of the trade, to be honest with you. Secure my gains and get out. And there we go. I'll put up how much we made. It will also be in the title as well, so you guys already know how much we've made on today's session. But that's exactly how you can do it. If you guys want to join the live streams, the link will be in the bio. And there is a free trial going on right now, which we don't really do very often. But I thought, you know what? You can have like a month for free to see how you feel. You know, once you start making gains, you realise it's not all bullshit. You guys are going to stay. And then you're going to start learning how to actually do it for yourself. And then after 3-4 months, you can leave and go do your own thing and just, you know, maybe even set up your own group. I don't know what you want to do. You know, take that information with you and do what you want to do with it. The reason I have the group is so that you guys can actually in real time learn the art of patience, because we don't just take any old trade, we don't catch FOMO, and it will teach you to get out of these habits. Okay, that's all it's really there for, to be honest with you. It's not like a typical signals room. It's more like a follow and learn room, I guess you could say. But yeah,